So why am I not strapped to the bed criminally insane when I went completely frontal and I hated with a hatred that's not describable in human terms? Why is it that I've had full-blown ALS symptoms and I've been able to restore most of my abilities and cope very well? Why is it that when my friend Ben, who got diagnosed 10 years ago with a terminal disease, today is his funeral, and I had to decide, am I going to go to the celebration of life with literally hundreds of people that I've been in satsang with for over 30 years in recovery and healing and spirituality, or do I stay here and hold vigil for him? I have to make these decisions all the time. Whether or not I go out and I do that kind of life and then I come home and I die really fast of ALS, or I trade what's out there and who I used to be, kind of the it girl, and disappear in a way. There's a fine line here between holding vigil for him, wanting to hold his daughter and give her a hug, and tell her that he and I have colored together for the last several years. We've been coloring buddies on Facebook. One day, a kit of coloring crayons appeared in front of my door, and I'm sure that Ben sent them to me. I was asking about different types of things to color with, and he gave me a bunch of answers. I didn't even know he colored, but I knew he had a terminal illness. Why is it that he passed and my best friend that I bought that plant for last year that was in the hospital never came out and I ended up with the plant? Why did he pass? Why was I able to heal with my dad after he offered me a Stephen King lifestyle? Horrific. After a coroner's inquest when I was young, and I don't want to discuss the story. I've healed from it, but one day when I share it, it is a Stephen King story. But after all those years, we got to spend the last 6 or 7 years of his life in total love with each other. Why is that? That's because I'm willing to go to any lengths to awaken to the divine, to really recover my crappy backpack of a story and quit pulling it around and transform it into a bigger, better story. The transformation of losing my mom in 1997. She was 56 years old and I was a single mom, and I cared for her for 17 months when she had lung cancer. She died in my arms. I became a hospice worker at that time. I was in my 30s. I was hanging out with Tupac, going out dancing all the time. I was not a club girl, so to speak. I was sober, but I was having so much fun. I loved the music. I loved the scene, and I've always been in a high society lifestyle. And when my mom died in my arms, that was the most intimate nightmare I've ever had in my life. That felt so real that I couldn't go back to being club girl, or, even though I was sober at the time, I couldn't go back to that scene. I started volunteering for Suicide Prevention Center. My brother died not too long after that, and I flatlined the night that he died. All of this was stepping stones for me to dig in really hard, like even the sexual abuse with my stepdad. I went to Parents United for a year, and then I learned how to help people with sexual abuse. I learned how to help people with Suicide Prevention Center. I learned how to volunteer on Christmas because I didn't have my family to heal. So why is it that I'm not strapped to the bed? Why is it that my dad and I healed when he didn't heal with the rest of his family, and they were all like allegedly this happy unit, and I was the one that was to blame for all the family's problems for many years? Because I did the work. Because I make decisions not to eat potato chips. I make decisions to get up and do the next right thing. And I literally get emails and text messages all day long from people saying, your vivacious light is what keeps me going. So I bring the light and the possibility of transformation. And I'm not going to get stuck in this anger mode or this self-pity mode. I want to transform everything, and all of this shit that happens in life is just fertilizer for something beautiful if that's what you decide. Why is it a few months ago I was literally dying with ALS symptoms again, and some master that wrote The Yellow Emperor, his family, in the lineage. Obviously, it was written 5,000 years ago or something like that. But he's a part of that lineage of the I Ching. Why is it that my next filmmaker that wants to do my document is like, oh my God, look at the caliber of teachers that you're calling in, and I get to share these with people? I don't know why. But I believe that it could be because I have this vision. I have the vision of high level where people can have hope and an answer and live better no matter what the story. Yes, I have frontal temporal dementia. I am supposed to be inappropriate in every single way. But because I've used these tools that I'm sharing with people and that I've been